Hello sports fans, it is Tuesday, November the 20th, the year 2012, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. You're going to have to excuse my voice for a second straight day. I've been really sick, really under the weather, plus I'm in the process of moving, so I'm all disheveled here. I don't have my usual backdrop, I don't have my desk. I just have a few handheld notes, so you're going to have to bear with me today, and then starting next Monday, we should be back to normal. I should be feeling better. I should have, a desk and a normal backdrop. You're going to have to excuse me today for my voice and for the unusual backdrop. I have to stand. Couple of handheld notes. But anyway, without further ado, let's get to the sports. I'm going to give you my NFL picks today. I'm going to give you my college picks today. We'll go over the NBA a little bit. This is my last show, before Thanksgiving. After today, I will be back with you Monday for a regular schedule, but this will be my last show of this week. It's a shortened week. It's the Thanksgiving week. Very short week this week, so a lot going on. I'm very disheveled. But anyway, let's start in the NFL. Let's go through all the games, and let's break them down, and let's pick each and every game. Let's start with the Thanksgiving Day games. First game, the early game, 12:30 game. Remember, not a 1 o'clock game for the early game on Thanksgiving, 12:30. I always forget this, and it's like 1 o'clock, and I put the TV on, and the game is already like halfway through the first quarter already. So remember, 12:30 on Thursday, not 1 o'clock for an early edition on Thanksgiving Day. All right, the first game, the Houston Texans, -3 at the Detroit Lions. Houston Texans, 9-1. Best team in the AFC, coming off the comeback win against Jacksonville, where their defense didn't play well, against a Lion team that let one get away against Green Bay. The Lions are 4-6. Lions are in last place. Lions are in deep trouble. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. To me, when I look at this game, who do you trust more, Houston or Detroit? I trust Houston more. They're a 9-1 team. Detroit finds ways to lose, and I don't love Detroit's defense. Although I love Sue and I love Fairley on the front, I don't love their secondary. Stafford is very shaky at quarterback this year. I expect more from him. Turned the ball over a bunch of times last week. Had 2 bad overthrows last week. I don't trust the Lions in a big spot. I am taking Houston, -3 over the Lions in the early Thanksgiving Day game. All right, let's go to the second game, the late game on Thanksgiving, the late afternoon game, I should say. The Dallas Cowboys at home at 5-5, -6 over the Washington Redskins. The Redskins are 4-6. The Redskins looked good last week. Robert Griffin III, we all love. Dallas never seems to play a complete game. I have to like Dallas in this game. I don't love Washington's defense. Dallas is a good team. You're just waiting for Dallas to put together 4 quarters. They always play like half a game or 3 quarters. They never play a complete game, Dallas. Little worried about 6 points with Dallas, but I think Dallas is going to win. I think they will go to 6-5. I think they are, a contender for both the division and the wild card. I like Dallas, -6 over the Redskins in Big D in the late afternoon game on Thanksgiving. All right, let's go to the night game on Thanksgiving night. You have the New England Patriots, -7 over the Jets in the Meadowlands. Patriots at 7-3. Off the shellacking they just put on the Colts last week, where they put up 59 on the Colts. Jets 4-6. The Jets actually get a win against the Rams, so the Jets show some life. I mean, I like the Patriots here. Their offense is unstoppable. I don't love the Patriots' defense, but I don't trust the Jets. I mean, the Jets are going to put together 2 good performances in a row. I have to see it first before I take them. I'm going to take the Pats -7 over the Jets. All right, let's go to the Sunday games. Let's go to Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals, -8 over the Oakland Raiders. Cincinnati at 5-5. They've won 2 in a row. Oakland at 3-7, going nowhere fast. The Oakland defense is one of the worst in the league. They're atrocious. The last 3 weeks, they've given up just a tremendous amount of points. Cincinnati's showing signs of life. We all love Dalton. We all love A.J. Green. Their defense is playing better. I can't like Oakland here. I will go with Cincinnati, -8 over Oakland in Cincinnati. All right, let's go to Cleveland. Here's an interesting game. Cleveland Browns at home. Pick 'em with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers without Roethlisberger. Steelers now without Leftwich, who broke his ribs. 3rd-string quarterback Batch. Browns are 2-8. Steelers are 6-4. Yeah, it's a pick 'em game because of the quarterback situation. I'm going to take the Steelers reluctantly because I think top to bottom the Steelers are a better team. Batch has played before. He's going to have a full week of practice. He knows he's playing. And bad teams always find a way to lose, and that's what the Browns have been doing lately. I will still stick with the Steelers, very reluctantly, but I will take the Steelers. Pick them with the Browns in Cleveland. All right, let's move on to Indianapolis. The Indianapolis Colts at home, -3 over the Buffalo Bills. Colts 6-4 off the just beating they took at New England last week. Buffalo 4-6. Their defense actually showed some life against Miami last week. They actually played well. I've been consistent with the Colts all year. I like them at home. I don't love them on the road. They're home. I like them here at home. Luck plays better at home. They play better at home in general. Buffalo, I mean, can we trust Buffalo? No. Can we trust their defense? No. So I like the Colts, -3 over the Bills. All right, let's go to Kansas City. The Denver Broncos at 7-3 are -7 over the Chiefs at Arrowhead. The Chiefs are 1-9. 1-9, one of the most disappointing teams in football this year, if not the most disappointing. Castle, awful. Quinn, awful. Romeo Crennel, terrible job by him. Defense, awful. Receivers, awful. Running backs, awful. Special teams, awful. Everything's been awful for the Chiefs this year. So, terrible job by them. Denver's red hot. I mean, what more do you need to say? I know the game's in Kansas City. Big deal. Denver should roll in this game. Broncos -7 over the hapless Chiefs. All right, let's move on to Jacksonville. The Tennessee Titans at 4-6, -2.5 over the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1-9. I'm going to take a shot and take Jacksonville with the points here because Henne, who replaced Gabbert last week, is going to play this week, and they showed some life last week, Jacksonville. They had a 14-point lead in Houston. They battled. They hung in the game. They lost in overtime. I'm going to take Jacksonville. I liked what I saw from Henne. They seem inspired by him. The receivers all got into the game. They all played well. I'm going to take Jacksonville. I know I'm going out on a limb here. I mean, I don't love them. We know they're 1-9. They're one of the worst teams in the league. I'm going to say they keep it close here. I can get him 2.5, and I don't love Tennessee. So I'll take Jacksonville +2.5 at home against Tennessee, reluctantly, but I'll do it just because Henne played well and they showed some life last week against Houston. All right, let's go to Chicago, historic Soldier Field. The Chicago Bears at 7-2. They are right now pick 'em with the Minnesota Vikings, who are 6-4. The Bears got absolutely ambushed last night by the 49ers. 49ers crushed them last night. It was just a complete beating, 32-7. I mean, Cutler was out. I mean, Campbell was awful. Total yards last night, 355, 143. So the Bears got totally manhandled. So the Bears actually dropped. I'm sorry, they're not 7-2. They're 7-3 now. And actually, because of that loss, Green Bay has the tiebreaker. Believe it or not, Green Bay actually has jumped ahead of the Bears in the standings. Believe it or not, Green Bay is in first place in that division. About 8 days ago, the Bears had a 2-game lead. Cutler goes out, they lose to Houston, now they lose to San Francisco. Green Bay wins 2 in a row. Green Bay is at 7-3. Green Bay actually has caught them, and with the tiebreaker, because they beat Chicago earlier, they are ahead of Chicago right now. They have to play one more time, but right now Green Bay ahead of them. Anyway, I got off track there. Chicago at 7-3, pick them with Minnesota, who's 6-4. We don't know if Cutler's playing right now. If Cutler plays, I like Chicago. If he doesn't, who knows? I mean, I thought Minnesota was going to turn into a pumpkin, and 2 weeks ago they just blew out the Lions. I still think Minnesota's schedule is going to get him in the end. If Cutler plays, I like Chicago. If he doesn't, all bets are off. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to Tampa Bay. The Atlanta Falcons at 9-1, -1 at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay playing inspired football. They're 6-4. Had the huge comeback last week in Carolina. They're doing a tremendous job. Shiano, tremendous job. Freeman, tremendous job. Martin, the rookie, running back, tremendous job. Need a little help on defense, but I like what I see from Tampa. I'm going to take Tampa here at home. They're playing well. They're hot. Atlanta's a funny team. They're 9-1. They keep finding new and miraculous ways to win, every week. They had no business beating Arizona last week with 6 turnovers. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'm going to take a shot and take Tampa Bay at home. All right, let's move on. Let's move on down to Miami. The Seattle Seahawks at 6-4, -3 over the Dolphins, who are 4-6. I think the Dolphins have turned into a pumpkin. I think the Bill game showed that. It looks like they ran into a wall. I don't like what I see from the Dolphin offensive line. I didn't like what I saw from the defense. Tannehill didn't play well. I love Seattle's defense. Although I don't love Seattle on the road, I think their defense will shut Miami down. I like Seattle -3 over Miami in Miami. All right, let's move on to San Diego. The Baltimore Ravens at 8-2 off the big win against the Steelers, -1 over the Chargers. The Chargers are 4-6. They lost to Denver. Their season is over. I'll take the Ravens here. I don't trust the Chargers at all. The Chargers can just mess up any game. The Ravens are a better team. They're 8-2 against a 4-6 team. Why is the spread only 1 point? I'll tell you why. The Ravens don't play well on the road. They'll play well enough here to beat the hapless Chargers. Let's move on. San Francisco 49ers at 7-2-1 off their big win against the Bears last night. -2 of the Saints in the Superdome down in Louisiana. The Saints are 5-5 and have rallied lately. This is a strange game. Kaepernick played really well last night for San Francisco. He was on fire. But now can he do it on the road in a short week against a hot Saint team? I'm going to take New Orleans at home here. I love the way they play at home. The crowd is tremendous. And Kaepernick has to show me that he can do it 2 weeks in a row, if indeed he does play. We don't know about Alex Smith. He's questionable. I'll take the Saints here +2. All right, let's move on to Arizona. The Arizona Cardinals at home, -2 of the St. Louis Rams. Arizona 4-6, lost 6 in a row. St. Louis 3-6-1, very disappointing loss to the Jets last week. I'll take Arizona just because I like their defense at home. I think their defense will dominate the game. I don't know who's quarterbacking Arizona this week. Is it Cobb? Is it Skelton? Is it Lindley? Who knows? I'll take Arizona just because of their defense to shut down the Rams. Let's move on. Let's move on to the Sunday night game. The Giants at home in the Meadowlands at 6-4 off their bye week. -2.5 over Green Bay. Green Bay at 7-3 now in first place. Green Bay hot. Green Bay actually should be 8-2. Remember they had that Seattle loss, which they should have won. Giants off the bye week. Giants not playing well. Giants are favored in this game. This is a very strange game because Green Bay's got some injuries. I mean, I don't love their offensive line. They take a lot of sacks. Very, very strange game. I'll take Green Bay because they have been hot. They have gone into first place now, and the Giants have not been playing well. The Giants are going to have to show me they're back before I take them, so I'll take Green Bay +2.5. Here's a doozy for Monday night. Hang on to your hats. Philadelphia Eagles at home at 3-7, -2.5 over the Panthers, who are 2-8. That's your Monday night game? What a terrible Monday night game. I mean, who do you take here? The Eagles have lost 6 in a row. Carolina can't get out of their own way. I'll take Carolina just because the Eagles have lost 6 in a row, and they look like a dead carcass. I mean, Carolina is at least showing some life. The Eagles are showing me nothing. I mean, they're just showing me nothing. I'll take Carolina, and that's desperation on my part. I don't know who to take in this game, but Carolina at least showed some life last week. The Eagles are showing me absolutely nothing. I'll take Carolina +2.5. That's the picks this week for the NFL. Like I said, the Niners bombarded the Bears last night. Let's touch real quickly on the college football. This is a big week in college football. You only have 2 weeks left in the college football regular season besides your Army-Navy. You have your big rivalry games this week. Then you have your conference championship games the week after. Then you have your Army-Navy. Then you go into your bowl games. It's hard to believe we're basically at the end of college football. Really, really sad. I love college football. Wasn't a great year in college football. We had a nice week last week with the 2 big upsets with, Kansas State and Oregon both losing. All right, let's go to some of the big games this week. Let's go to some of the big rivalry games. This is a week, if you're a college football lover, you love this week because you have your traditional rivals playing each other. Thanksgiving night, Texas at home, playing TCU. I mean, this is a game Texas, usually plays Texas A&M because Texas A&M went to the Southeastern Conference. It's now Texas TCU on Thanksgiving night. Texas is an 8-point favorite over TCU. I would expect Texas to get the job done at home on Thanksgiving night. Friday, you have LSU -12 over Arkansas at Arkansas. If you know anything about this game, when the game is played in Arkansas, it's played at Little Rock. I mean, Arkansas has done absolutely nothing this year. LSU's ranked 7. They've been a little disappointing as well. Believe it or not, they're still ranked 7. You would expect LSU to win. The spread's a little high, but you would expect LSU to win. Here's a nice rivalry game. Arizona, who's done a really nice job this year, at home in the desert, -3 over Arizona State. Really nice rivalry game. I like Arizona at home to win this game. Arizona State doesn't play well on the road. I'll take Arizona. The game, as they call it. Just the game. Ohio State at home in the Horseshoe, -4 over Michigan. This is a juicy matchup every year, even more so this year. Ohio State, this is their last game of the year. They're on probation. They cannot go to a bowl game. They cannot play in any conference championship. They're undefeated right now. They're trying to have a perfect season. Even though they can't go anywhere, this is their last game. So this is a huge game. Nothing more Ohio State would want than to win this game and go undefeated, and nothing more that Michigan would want than to knock off Ohio State the last game of the year and knock out their perfect season. Very, very juicy game. 12 noon on Saturday. The game. Make sure you watch it. Georgia, number 3, very important game for Georgia. Georgia needs to win out to get to the national title game. They are at home, minus 13 over Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's played a little better. They're going to be in the ACC championship game. You have to like Georgia at home here. They have too much for Georgia Tech. Very important that Georgia wins that game. Same thing for Alabama. They're ranked number 2. They're at home, minus 31 over Auburn. Minus 31 over Auburn. When have we seen a spread like that in this rivalry? I mean, what has happened to Auburn? I mean, this is the Iron Bowl. This is the Iron Bowl. You can't have a 31-point spread. Alabama should roll in this game. Here's an interesting game. Stanford, off their huge win at Oregon, now goes to UCLA. UCLA having a nice season. Stanford all the way up to 8 in the polls. Stanford minus 2 over UCLA. I say Stanford has a hangover this week. I will take UCLA at home in the Rose Bowl. Upset Stanford. Oklahoma at home, minus 7 over Oklahoma State. Very interesting game. I'll take Oklahoma State with the points. Oklahoma gives up a lot of points this year. Here's an interesting game. Oregon in the Civil War against Oregon State. Oregon drops to number 5. They need help to get back into the national championship hunt. They're going to need a lot of help. Oregon, number 5, minus 13 over Oregon State in the Civil War. Very interesting game. What's Oregon's mentality in this game right now? Do they feel like their season's lost? Do they feel like they can get back in it? Oregon State's at home. They're going to be all pumped up. I'll take Oregon State with the 13 to keep it close. All right, let's move on to Tallahassee. Florida State at home, ranked 10, minus 6 over Florida, who's ranked 4. Florida's still in the national championship hunt. If one of those teams in front of them loses, Florida can jump up to the national championship game, but they must beat Florida State and Tallahassee. Won't be easy. Florida quarterback will play. Florida State's going to be kicking themselves. They lost one game this year to NC State, a game they were dominating, a game they blew in the 4th quarter. That game is going to come back to bite them in the end. You have to like Florida State at home here with their defense. You have to like them at home. I'll take Florida State minus 6 over Florida. Here's a very underrated rivalry game. Clemson at home, minus 4 over South Carolina. These two teams do not like each other. This is a very interesting game. If you can watch this game, please do. This is a very underrated rivalry. I'll take South Carolina plus 4 here. I don't like Clemson's defense. They give up a lot of points. I know Lattimore is hurt for South Carolina. I know they didn't play well last week. I'll take South Carolina. I like their defense better than Clemson's. All right, here's a big, big game. Notre Dame. This is the big, big game. Notre Dame, minus 6 over USC in the Coliseum. Notre Dame ranked 1. This is their last game. If Notre Dame wins, they're in the national championship. If they lose, they're out. Matt Barkley out. I can't like USC without Matt Barkley. They haven't been playing well with Barkley. Can't like them without Barkley. I like Notre Dame here. So those are some of your matchups as far as bowls. You also got the Apple Cup, Washington State. Washington should win that game. Kansas State, who dropped all the way to 6 with their loss, they're off this week. They play Texas the week after. We'll see if they can climb back in. Texas A&M and Missouri play this week. They're the two teams that went from the Big 12 to the SEC. So that's some of your college football. Nice week as far as your rivalries in college football. You really want to watch some of these games. Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State, Florida, Notre Dame, USC. I mean, you can watch games from 12 noon to midnight on Saturday. So please watch these games. I mean, college football is winding down. Great rivalry games, great games this week as far as the rivals go. So please keep an eye on that. Real quick, let me touch on the NBA. Let's go through the records and the divisions real quick. I know it's early in the NBA season, but I wanted to give you, my State of the Union every week on the NBA, give you the records, see who's doing what. Let's start in the East. In the Atlantic, the Knicks are doing a nice job. They're 7-1. Can't say anything bad about the Knicks. Woodson doing a tremendous job as the coach. Carmelo Anthony, tremendous. Knicks are doing a great job at 7-1. Equally as good, Brooklyn, they're 6-2. They played a lot of games without Wallace. Williams looks like he's going to be playing hurt most of the year. Nice team. They get nice crowds in Brooklyn. I like what I see from them. Philadelphia at 6-4, playing decent, and they haven't had Bynum yet. If they ever get him back healthy, watch out for Philadelphia. Boston's 6-5. I mean, they're going to give you everything they have. They just have so much age and not enough firepower on that team. But they are 6-5. They're going to give you everything they have. Doc Rivers always has that team ready to play. Toronto 3-7, long way to go. Let's go to the Central. Milwaukee 6-3, first place, doing a nice job. Good backcourt with Ellis and Jennings. Really nice backcourt there. Chicago at 5-5. They really miss Derrick Rose. They need him back. Indiana at 5-7. Very disappointing. No Granger for a few months. Very disappointing, but it is early. Cleveland 2-8. I mean, we know they need a lot of work. Now their star guard Irving is going to be out a month, so they're going to miss him. 2-8. I mean, they have a star in Irving, but they need a lot more help. Detroit 2-9. Long way back for Detroit. Let's go to the Southeast. Miami's 8-3. We know they're the best team in basketball when they're healthy. I mean, they're the front runner to win the championship again. So that's them. Charlotte doing a nice job at 5-4. I like what I see from them. Kid Gilchrist doing a nice job. The first-year coach is doing a nice job. Nice job by Charlotte at 5-4. Atlanta 5-4. They're kind of going to have that record all year. They're kind of that kind of team. Not great, not awful. You know, decent team. Orlando 3-7, long way back. Washington 0-9. I mean, no Wall yet, no Nene yet. All sorts of injuries. I mean, long year for Washington. Let's go to the West, the Northwest. Oklahoma City at 8-3. They are in first place. We know they're a contender. They're not as good without Harden. They are one of the best teams in the league. Still, though, we'll see what they can do. Minnesota at 5-4, doing a nice job without Love and Rubio. A lot of injuries for Minnesota. Still keeping their head above water at 5-4. Portland at 5-5, starting to play a little better basketball. They were 2-5. They've won 3 in a row. Great home fans there. Utah 6-6. I expect that from them. They're like Atlanta, not great, not awful, pretty good. 6-6 is right where I expect them. Denver in last at 5-6. I thought they'd be a little better than that. The problem with Denver is they have no star. They have a collection of nice players, but no real star. 5-6. I still think they're a little better than that. Let's go to the Pacific. The Clippers at 8-2 off a big win against San Antonio in San Antonio. Clippers look like a real threat this year. Griffin playing well. Paul, we know, is great. They look like they have a really nice team. Jamal Crawford off the bench. We'll see if the Clippers can get it to championship caliber. A really nice team. Lakers at 5-5. I mean, we know their deal. A lot of age, a lot of superstars. Now D'Antoni coming in as the coach. We'll see what the Lakers can do. 5-5 right now. Golden State doing a decent job. 6-5. They haven't played with Bogert yet, so they got to get him back in. We know Curry's really good. 6-5. Decent job by Golden State right now. Phoenix 4-7. Don't expect anything from them. Sacramento 2-8. Same thing. Long year for them. Southwest real quick. Memphis 8-2. Really, really nice team. Don't have a superstar, though, but a really nice team. I like what I see from Memphis, although they did lose last night. They have a really, really nice team. Like what I see from Memphis. San Antonio 8-3. They're kind of like the Celtics. They're going to give you everything they have. Can they do it in the playoffs with all this age on their team? I don't think so, but they're going to give you everything they have. Popovich, a great coach. Dallas at 6-6. They need Dirk Nowitzki back. I mean, they're 6-6. They're holding their own right now, but they need Dirk back to have any chance to do anything. Houston 4-7. Long way to go. Even though they have Harden and Lin, they're exciting. They're still not very good. And New Orleans at 3-5. I mean, we know they have a collection of nice young stars that are going to be really good for years to come. They're not ready now. So New Orleans 3-5, but they will be getting better. So that is your NBA. That is your college football. That is your NFL. Once again, I apologize for my voice. I've been very sick. I apologize for the surroundings. I'm in the process of moving on top of being sick. So I had a few handheld notes here. I had a stand, no desk, the bad backdrop. I apologize for all that. I will be with you guys next Monday after Thanksgiving. Hopefully things will be back to normal for me. I'll have a normal desk, a backdrop. I won't be sick. You guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday. Have a great holiday. Have a happy holiday. Enjoy all the games the next few days. You got, you know, your college football, your NFL, your NBA, college basketball, the Maui Classic. You know, nothing great in college basketball so far. You want to keep an eye on the Maui Classic. There's college basketball games on every day, every second of the day. It seems like ESPN televises 9,000 games, you know, every day. So you got your college basketball. You guys enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. Stay safe. I apologize for my voice and the surroundings. I will talk to you Monday after Thanksgiving, and we will go from there. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.